Hi, I'm Jason Willoughby with Reach the City Ministries. It is a privilege to introduce to you a new tool we've developed on how to grow in gratitude. A lot of times we're stuck with ingratitude, complaining, feeling like we deserve better, and all the joy and the spiritual oxygen has been sucked out of our soul. So let's see if we can go back to that grateful heart before the Lord and show people what Jesus really looks like. First step towards gratitude is to get radically honest with God. Not faking it, not pretending, not being in denial, not trying to look good, but coming to Him admitting we're ingrates and we need His help. There is a little 3-step exercise we can do to get radically honest with God. First of all, admit ingratitude. I seldom feel grateful, and ingratitude is a sin. Second step, we just admit our powerlessness. We cannot make ourselves into a grateful person. We need God's help. And finally, we ask Him to help, change our perspective, remind me of what I actually deserve, what I have received in Christ, renew a grateful heart within me. Growing in gratitude really means changing our perspective. We're looking at the wrong things and standing in the wrong place. So this first exercise really is about not looking at the hyper affluent, hyper famous, hyper powerful of our society, but comparing ourselves to people in the third world and looking at a fresh way of how much material and in many ways we've been given in this life. So we start with the earthly and the familiar. Things like life's essentials, food, air, water, etc. And then luxuries, our devices, our labor-saving things, the things we don't have to deal with because we are Americans and we have all these labor-saving good things that are just mark us off as wealthy. And our families. A lot of us have better families than many people on earth, and our freedoms as Americans, absolutely huge. We can't even begin to imagine how much we have just because we live here. The next step towards really deep gratitude is turning our eyes towards the Lord and seeing things from His point of view and realizing all that we have in Christ. We want to default to ingratitude and deserving and entitlement, and this daily perspective of seeing our life through God's eyes will totally be a game changer for gratitude in our lives. This perspective of how we stand in Christ and what we've received thanks to Him is amazing. Think of how much you've been spared from, both now and in eternity. Think of what you've been given because Christ died, rose again, and was ascended to the right hand of God for you and for me. Think of how we stand righteous in the presence of God because of Jesus, and that literally every spiritual blessing in the heavenlies is ours in Christ. We are so favored, it's ridiculous. May the Lord use these things to encourage you and keep you grateful.